Right then, hello YouTubers, and today I am going to be reviewing, hey look, it's another NECA figure, or NECA figure box set in this case, which is the Bride of Chucky, Ultimate Chucky and Tiffany set. And as you can see on the front here, this is obviously the poster cover, and also the same on the Blu-ray cover for Bride of Chucky, where Chucky gets lucky. And as I'll show you on this box, mine is a bit bashed. You can see you've got nice images of Chucky and Tiffany on the other side, but it is a little bit bashed up in places. However, I did end up getting £7 back on this, because this cost me £47. Yeah, it's a bit more pricey than your regular NECA figure set, because, well, you're getting two figures here rather than just one. So yeah, on the back we just have some, obviously, just images of the figures in various different poses, and we've also got a little write-up on Bride of Chucky. You can pause to read that because I frankly can't be asked. On the top, if I flip it the right way up, it gives you a warning that there's choking hazards. That means it's good, and for 17 and up. And yeah, just some credits on the bottom for the figure. And overall, that's all it hunky-dory. So, let's get it open, and let's take a look at the figures inside. I also forgot to mention, this is a window box. Yeah. There we go, there's the window. Nice picture of Chucky and Tiffany, and it does show off the figures quite nicely. Interestingly, the backdrop here is just the sky with some lightning. I mean, I guess it's trying to replicate the end of Bride of Chucky, where they're in the cemetery and there's a bit of lightning, but you can also see bits of stitching around here to make it look a bit more like Chucky's face. But anyway, now let's get into it. Right, so here are the figures themselves, and, well, yeah, they're NECA figures, they look excellent. Something I'll mention straight off the bat is that they were a little bit difficult to actually get them to stand up on their own accord. More so Chucky, less so Tiffany. And the main reason is because, well, these figures are tiny. I mean, compare Chucky to my hand, they are really tiny figures. But that doesn't mean they aren't incredibly accurate. So, which one shall I go with first? Well, I'm going to put Tiffany to the side, and I'm going to talk about Chucky. And the reason I'm going to talk about Chucky is because there's not an awful lot to say that I hadn't said before in my Ultimate Chucky NECA figure review. So if you want a more detailed look, then yeah, just have a look at that. So, what's the main differences? Well, the head. The head, for one. So, taking a look at the head. Whoa, come on. Okay, we're going to have to switch into manual for this. Yeah, so taking a look at the head, you can tell that this time around it is a lot more detailed. And it does look absolutely incredible. And actually, I'm just trying to find the best way to focus this, because it is really hard to focus on these figures, because they are that tiny. There we go, so we can zoom in on that. It keeps wanting to focus on Tiffany. So that means, even though Chucky is our main line of focus here, but there we go. We're just going to have to live with it like this, because every time I try and zoom in, it's not focusing in on it, so, oh well. So yeah, you can see, basically, this Chucky has been through a lot of shit. So you can see that Tiffany has obviously repaired him since the events of basically going through a blender at the end of Child's Play 3, where he's destroyed in that fan. Oh yeah, spoiler alert for that. But I do love the detail of, even around the side, where there's literally just bits of his hair just literally stapled on, and you can see the stitching and bits of metal and that go all the way around. Yeah, this Chucky has seeing some better days. And this is my favourite look for Chucky, and my other NECA figure of Chucky, the Ultimate Edition. I actually display it with, obviously not this head, but the head that is similar to it. And I reckon that the other head that looks similar to this is probably the version from Curse of Chucky. Because, well, the damage isn't as severe as it is here. Here it is much more severe and much more realistic. The only thing I'd say is that, again, the blood could have been a little bit darker with it. Perhaps, you know, just a little bit darker. But other than that, he does look absolutely excellent. Also, his overalls this time around, or his dungarees as we would call it here in the UK, this time they are a bit darker, but also mainly there is damage. There are holes in it everywhere, and these aren't, you know, just painted on, they're actually cut into it. You can also see bits of blood splatter here and there. And they've even gone to the detail of having the scar on his hand, or the cut or whatever. And you can see there, he's still got his good guy doll shoes, which are remarkably clean, but I did watch Bride of Chucky the other day, and yeah, they are just remarkably clean. You can even see on the side here in his shirt, where the bit's gouged out, and there's a bit gouged out round his arse. So yeah, incredible detail for Chucky. And in terms of articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so it has all the same articulation as the previous figure, because it literally is the previous figure with a few tweaks. Obviously, the head is brand new, but the overalls and the arms and that are slight tweaks to add the damage to it, but it does look all the better for it. Turning to accessories, well, there are a lot of accessories for Chucky, and Tiffany, so I will go on to them later on. So, for now, let's take a look at Tiffany, shall we? So yeah, I really wanted a Tiffany figure. I really wanted a Tiffany figure, and this is one. And since this was also my favourite Chucky, this was great to have a Bride of Chucky set. And yeah, the Tiffany head, it looks great. It does. The head is a little bit large. I don't know if that's due to the hair, but there's something about it that does just make it look maybe a bit too large for it, but it is incredibly well detailed. You can see there we've got the green eyes with the painted on eyebrows, and this is the only time on a woman that painted eyebrows make sense. But yeah, we've got the bleached blonde hair with still some of the black roots, and that's showing. We've got the leather jacket, which is removable. Yeah, so if you don't like the leather jacket for whatever reason, and you'd like it to look more like she did in Seed of Chucky, then you can remove the arms and replace them and remove the jackets. Why the fuck you'd want to do that, I don't know. You can also see that she's even got the tattoo. Come on. There we go. This is, again, very hard to focus in on her, but you can see it just there, and it is nicely detailed. Along with the dress itself, having really nice detail to it. The bottom section is fabric. Now, I mean, it makes sense why they do the bottom section to be fabric, because obviously, you know, it means that you can have full leg movement if you wish. I don't know if it is supposed to be removed. I'm not going to try, but I will lift it up to show you her legs underneath, and this is very weird. It almost looks like her legs are burnt, rather than I think she's supposed to be wearing tights, but yeah, her legs look burnt underneath to be honest. You can see though they've even sculpted in here a little strap, and I think this is maybe a holster strap, I'm not sure. To be honest, I didn't really spend much time looking up Tiffany's skirts in Bride of Chucky. That's for DeviantArt. But you can see there also the boots and that are really nice and well detailed. But yeah, the jacket even has the silver sort of zip straps on there to make it all look really authentic. And it does look a bit more like battered leather, but also the fact that they've gone down to the detail of painting her nails black. Yeah, so they've gone down to even that detail as well to make it look as, you know, real as possible. But yeah, with the fabric here, I mean, it does allow the leg movement, so it isn't restrictive, as if it, you know, because this was, you know, even a PVC plastic, it would hinder the legs severely. So I can see why they've done it. The only thing is, I don't really like this, particularly on incredibly small action figures, because I'm worried that this thing will fall apart, but only time will tell. You can even see the buckle strap here, which is just left undone and permanently in that position. So yeah, that was a look at the two figures, and they do look excellent. They are well detailed, and I'll go over Tiffany's articulation. So Tiffany has a bull head joint at the top, so she can nod, turn her head to the side, and basically do practically any movement that the doll could do in the film. Her arms are also ball jointed, so they can go out to about 90 degrees, and you can do a 360 with them, but you have to put them out to the side slightly, because mainly the head and the top of the jacket hinder that. As you can see, her hands do pop off incredibly easy. This is something I did notice, and it kind of is the same for Chucky. The reason is because, well, the hands are so small. There's a ball joint at the elbow as well, so it can get bend to about just over 90 degrees actually, and can also pivot on that joint. The hands are on a sort of peg ball joint, so they can move back and forth a bit and twist 360s. I will not do that because, as you just saw before, the hands pop off very easily. The legs are double jointed, so well, almost. So you can almost have her kick herself up the arse, but not quite. They are on swivel joints, and you can basically put them in any pose you like. The ankle part of the boot is also a ball joint, so this mainly helps when trying to get her to stand up in various different poses. But anyway, let's take a look at the accessories, shall we? Okay, so the main accessory for these figures are, at least in my opinion, the swappable heads. So each figure has two alternate heads, so we'll start with the Chucky ones. So we've got Chucky here. Okay, put full hand in front of screen. And maybe we'll focus. There we go. So yeah, Chucky, this one has a lot less damage and is a lot more similar to the Chucky from Curse of Chucky, where there's a lot less damage on the head, and it's a lot more similar to the one that was included in the Ultimate Chucky. If we just compare the two of them here. Ooh. Again, being so small, it's bloody hard to focus on. I should get a macro lens. So you can see here, this one, a lot less damage compared to this one. There's no gouging out of the hair or anything. So yeah, this one, a lot less damage to it. Still nicely detailed. The expression is a bit weird. And I don't know if the eye is supposed to be looking to the side or whether that is just something that is wrong with my one. Taking a look at the second one. There we go. So the second one, Chucky's clearly maniacally laughing here. And this one is a kind of mishmash in between. You can see there's scars and cuts into his head. That expression on the face is just to die for. But yeah, you can even see on this one there's a stitching going up his neck, which I didn't mention on this one. But again, just to compare the two of them, I still prefer this one. It is my favourite head. You can see there that there's not quite as much, detail to it. The reason I'm not swapping the heads on these because, well, it's a bloody nightmare. In fact, actually, with the Chucky figure, I suggest you actually either stick them in boiling water for about 30 seconds to soften the plastic up a bit, or just heat them up a bit with a hairdryer or something, just so you're not going to break anything while you're removing the heads, because it is the big ball joint, the old-fashioned one, whereas Tiffany here, and I'll show you, uses the more modern peg style ball joint that the 2018 Michael Myers, I believe, also used, and I reviewed. So yeah, basically in this one, Tiffany is scowling and has got her teeth out. Other than that, no differences at all, really. Yeah, not even with the hair. The hair, yeah, I think the hair is exactly the same on this one. So with this one, literally just a different expression. And then finally, a more significant one, we've got the bride head. Yeah, and this is Tiffany because it's got the green eyes. So, yeah, because initially the doll has brown eyes, but when Tiffany possesses it, the eyes change green, so this is Tiffany. Again, we've got the little bride's thing. I don't know what this is. Can't remember. It is literally just like a cloth net. But again, especially something like this, feels very, very fragile. And this is the first time I've ever took this one out of the box, because I know I'm never going to display the figure like this. But the detail on it is really nice, especially on the hair. So I can't really complain about that, so it is nice. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the handheld accessories for the figures. That's what I'm going to be calling them now. Alright, so I've literally brought the box out to look at the accessories for this. So let's have a look at the spades. Since both of them are nearly identical to each other. They are, but I will say they both are the same mould. And yeah, basically these are the spades that are used at the end of the film, where Chucky and Tiffany have a bit of a fight and hit themselves with these. And for what they are, for spades, they are nicely detailed. For what they are, they've got a nice dirty wash on it. And also a nice dirty wash on the handle to make it look a bit more like realistic wood. Yeah. Something they didn't do on some of the accessories on previous sets. You can got the little handle grip here. So that's Chucky's one. And if we just compare to Tiffany's one, the top of the spade bit is pretty much identical. The main difference is this one has just got a pull for a handle, but again it's been given that dirty wash to it to make it look obviously old and tarnished wood. So again, all nice, well and good for that. And again, I'm just going to be taking them out and putting them back in. Also, I've just noticed with the pole, you've got to put it in this way like that. Okay then. We've got the axe, which the axe compared to the others is, well, a lot more basic, to be honest. Come on. Focus on the axe. So yeah, the axe is a lot more basic, just basic silver axe piece and red plastic for the other piece. Gotta be honest, not a big fan of that axe because, well, it's just a bit basic. There's not a lot of detail on it, but it does look like the axe. But again, I don't know, maybe it could have done with something just to bring it out a bit more. We've also got the wine bottle like Tiffany throws up at the ceiling at CGI glass to shatter. And yeah, it does look good. Unfortunately, the sticker on my one has been put on slightly wonky, yeah, which I've literally just noticed. And the writing on it, well, it doesn't really see anything. And the bottle does become CGI at one point, so yeah. It's also obviously missing the cork at the top, but yeah, you can give this to Tiffany for her to throw, and that's just going to push her hand off. But yeah, interestingly, it's on Chucky's side of the set for some reason. But it is a really nice accessory, and, you know, one of the probably more iconic deaths in Bride of Chucky. So that's all nice, well and good to have. I've already shown this a bit before, but here is one of the knives, one of the kitchen knives included. And again, being so small and tiny, it is bloody impossible to focus on. You can see this one is a longer blade, and the good thing is that since Chucky's overalls are damaged, you can bloody stab him with it. Yeah. And that is quite a nice feature to have. In fact, no, I think, as far as I'm aware, yeah, this hole is the only real hole you can actually stab him with it. But the fact that you can, that is a really nice feature. So, I'm going to put that knife back. And for the rest of these, I'm just going to take another quick look at them. Here. So the other knife is just, you know, your basic kitchen knife. In fact, I don't know if that one was actually included with the previous Chucky, I don't know. You can see here there are various hands. In fact, during the review, one of Tiffany's hands actually fell out. So yeah, each character has obviously three alternative hands to hold their various accessories, and Tiffany also has her alternate arms to remove the jacket. So if you want her to look more like she did in Seed of Chucky, then yeah, you can do that as well as Tiffany's pistol there, or gun, whatever. And this is, well, we all know what this is. This and this are two of the best accessories ever included. So these are not from Bride of Chucky, these are from Seed. That is Chucky's spunk. And this, well, let's just say I just bloody dropped it. Let's just say those two accessories go together to impregnate Jennifer Tilly. Yes. And when I remember I told my mum about this, and she thought that was the weirdest thing ever, and I thought, you really don't know me, I can think of much weirder things. But yeah, you can actually see in there, it's got a spunk in there. So yeah, some nice Chucky juice for you. You can also see you've got the little medallion thing there, which is for transferring souls and stuff when they realise, shit, we've got to get over this only being able to transfer his soul into Andy thing. The chain is actual metal, and the design of the actual, you know, medallion thing is really nice. And if we have a look on the back, you can actually see it's got the little writing on it. So that is nice. So that can obviously double as a Bride and Seed of Chucky accessory, since it's used in both. You can see the alternate hands, so there's not really much to talk about with those. They're just for holding different accessories. And up here we have Chucky's gun from the climax of Bride of Chucky. And basically that is it for accessories. So yeah, you do get quite a large variety in here, but so you should, because this kind of, you know, makes up the cost, because the two figures are smaller. But anyway, let's get on to my conclusion, shall we? So overall, what do I think of this Bride of Chucky set? Well, I do love it. Wow, big shock. Yeah, and for the money, if you can get it, you know, for I know on Zavvi I think it's £55, so if you can get it for 55 and under, then I say go for it. But do not pay some of the ridiculous prices I've seen it at on other places. I've seen it as high as £75, £80, which is just bloody mental for this. But if you can get it for that set, then yeah, I say then it is worth it. Something to note, I could be wrong, but I do believe this Chucky is getting his own release. So if you weren't interested in the Tiffany and just wanted the Chucky, I do believe he is getting an individual release. At least in the US. I don't know about the UK, but hey, that is what it is. So yeah, for the money, you do get really nice, well-detailed figures, and you do get a lot of accessories, and the Chucky is different enough to justify the variants of it, because some NECA variants are, well, they're variants. But this one, yeah, this is definitely my favourite version of Chucky, and the figure reflects that, having a lot more detail, and the paint apps do feel a lot crisper this time around as well. So yeah, I do really like this set, and I do highly recommend it. So yeah, that's all for this review, and I'll see you whenever I do another one. Bye bye. Oh, and it means you'll be able to reenact this scene. Chucky, have you got a rubber? Have I got a rubber? Tiff, look at me. I'm all rubber. Oh, that's right. Tiff, huh? Kiss me. Yeah. Yeah. You can reenact that scene, like I just did. That made the price of admission worth it.